By now you should have Python and Pycharm installed. If not, go back to the modules on installing Python and Pycharm. And if you're having trouble with those steps, definitely ask for help. So let's go ahead and open Pycharm. You should come to a screen like this. The first time you open Pycharm, there will be nothing on the left-hand side. But as you work, your recent projects will show up here. What we want to do now is create a new project. You can actually do all your assignments for this class in one project. So let's call this project My Assignments. After a little bit of configuration, Pycharm is ready. On the left-hand side of the window, we have our project file structure. And we see the project name My Assignments at the top. If we open up that folder, we'll see there's a virtual environment folder inside, and more inside that. But we're just going to work at the My Assignments level. At the bottom of the screen, there are some useful tabs. One of these is the Python console. You can open a Python interpreter and directly type commands here. This is not where we'll do most of our work, but if you have something quick to test, this can be a good place to do it. The Python console is also called the REPL. And that stands for read, evaluate, print, loop. When I press enter, the REPL, or the Python console, will read this line that I've written. It will evaluate the line to see what it needs to do, potentially print a result, and then loop back to be ready for another line. The print command with this string literal inside simply prints out what I typed. We can bind numbers to variable names, and even do some math. In fact, in the REPL, we don't even need the print statement. By default, if I type a variable name or an expression, the result is printed to the screen. One thing that you need to try right now to make sure that you're ready for this class is to find out what version of Python that Pycharm is using. We'll do that in the REPL by typing sys.version, and I find that I'm using Python version 3.7.3. In order to be successful in this class, your Python version should start with 3.6, 3.7, or 3.8. Earlier versions are missing some of the important features that we will be using. So if you have an earlier version, it's time to upgrade and ask for help if you need it. Let's close the REPL and head back up to our project structure. I'm going to create a Python module now. I'll right-click on My Assignments, go to New, Python File. Everything we'll do in this course will start out this way. I'm going to name my file. Let's call it Assignment 1. And an editor window appears. Inside the editor window, I can also type Python statements. Unlike the REPL, when I press Enter, nothing interesting happens. Inside a Python file or Python module, I will type a number of statements and other things, and then run them all at once. The little green check in the corner indicates that everything looks good and we're probably ready to run this program. When we want to run the program the first time, we come up to the tab, right-click, and down to the play button, Run Assignment 1. A Run window opens and shows us the result of our assignment. There are some extra bits here, like the path of the assignment and the result code. But the results of the code we actually wrote are contained in between. If I write an interactive program, then the user interaction takes place inside the run window. And if I have an error in my program, I can see it in a couple places. First of all, the green check becomes a red box, and a red dash indicates where my error is. But if I try to run the program again, Then an error message appears in the run window. Getting rid of the bad code brings our green check back. Note that there is a shortcut to run our program. I don't always have to right-click on the tab. The green play button will rerun the last program that you've run. Next to the play button is a debug button. We'll learn more about that later. But for now, you should have what you need to get started.